Focus doesn't just drift, or focus doesn't drift by accident. It's lost by neglect. And refocusing is not automatic. It's intentional. Inner leaders, those who lead from the inside, who lead themselves and therefore can lead others, those who lead from the inside don't wait to feel focused. They choose it. See, I think all of us actually use a lot of these success principles at one time or another, or in certain situations or certain tasks. But what happens when you actually intentionally decide to focus? If you do this, you will change your life. I know both sides of it. When you focus on something you're not supposed to focus on, or give your energy to you allow it to become a distraction. And again, it's not always bad things. It's good things. But good things doesn't necessarily mean it's the right thing or the right good thing for you to focus on at that particular time or season in your life. So let's talk about that. We're going to be talking about refocusing with intention or intentionally. So sometimes you don't need a plan. You just need a new focus. See, a lot of us, like when you start the new year, this is today is March 2nd, 2026. And so you had plans January 1st. Most people, some people said they're going to stop having these New Year's resolutions because they hadn't resolved to make a decision in order to change their lives. Again, I know the ups and downs of that. Okay. Now, we all want to succeed in life in some area or areas, right? Things you have not accomplished the year before or the last decade. So it's not going to happen just by prayer. It's not going to happen just by positive confessions and affirmations. It's not going to happen just because you or I wanted to or needed to. It's going to happen with intention. So it's not so much you need to change your plan as much as you need to start executing a plan you wrote out, you wrote down, or it was laid out for you. Life gets loud. Responsibilities pile up. Distractions multiply. And before you know it, you're busy. But you're not moving forward. You're going all over the place. You have many irons in the fire, but you're still not moving forward. It's like it's like spinning the wheels of your vehicle. You're sitting there, you're peeling out, and you're skirting everywhere. You're burning up your tires. You're roaring up or revving up your engine, but you're not going anywhere. So today's message again is very simple. Refocus, but let's do it intentionally. So what happens when focus drifts? When the focus drifts, energy leaks. I know what that feels like. I know you do too. So how do we plug up those leaks? First, let's go to this point here. First, you start doing a lot, but finishing little. I know what it's like to be scatterbrained like that. You start doing your laundry, then you go into the kitchen and you see some of the dishes, too many dishes sitting on the side. So then you take a break or take a moment to go ahead and rinse out some of those dishes and organize them so you can wash them a little later. And then as you're going back towards the laundry room, you see there's some trash that needs to be put away. And so now you start trying to do some of everything, but getting very little of it accomplished or finished. Moving but not progressing, thinking but not deciding. Sometimes some of us sit and think, but never decide on what thing we need to do, what person we need to meet or not meet. Food we want to eat. You're hungry, but you don't know what to eat. So you're thinking, but you have not decided on anything yet. So you're wasting time, you're wasting energy. The problem isn't always direction. Sometimes the problem is people's attention. So what you focus on, as my dad says, what you focus on, what you really take the time to focus on, you attract more of it. Distraction. Let's talk about distraction versus direction. Sometimes distraction is too many good opportunities. Boy, I cannot tell you how many times when I would start a project, start a business back in the day when I was doing multi-level marketing business, network marketing, multiple level, what do you call it? ML and multi-level marketing back in the day. And then it was also called network marketing, like something like Mary Kay, Amway, and some other different businesses. Every time I started a new business, another opportunity and another opportunity and another opportunity would present itself. every time. And I would get distracted many of those times. Not every time, but many of those times I would go and say, oh man, that's another good idea. Oh, that's another good idea. That's a good opportunity. I don't want to miss that. And I got a lot of stuff started, but not finished. And I bet that's how some of you feel. Then you get too many voices in your ears. So you hear this business person talk this. Then you hear this other motivational speaker talk that. And then you hear this person and this person. And so now you get too many voices. A lot of them saying some of the same things. And yet, yes, there are some things that are different. So you're listening to too many voices. You need to narrow that scope down. Then you have too many options. And when people have too many options, when everything feels important, what happens? Nothing gets done. None of the choices are made, because it's like for some people, when they see a plate that's full, just looking at a full plate fills them up. And when you have too many opportunities, when you have too many options sitting before you, the average person makes a decision to do nothing with any of those opportunities. They say, oh, okay, I'll come back to it later. It's too much thinking. And many times later does not happen. Later doesn't come. So focus is deciding what deserves your attention right now. Again, focus is deciding what deserves your attention right now. When you make that choice, I'm actually going to kind of, anyway, once you decide what to focus on, that becomes your decision. For example, if you have a job, 8 to 5, 9 to 5, not 7 to 3. If it's a part-time job, what I say, 7 to 3 earlier, more 12-hour job, 8 to 8. You have decided to focus on that block of time. Even though you may have some fires at home, you still have to think about or focus on that particular job. You know, I know some people tell you over the years, I don't know if they say it as much now, but they say leave your problems at home, right? When you come to work, leave your problems at home. That is not always the case, and it certainly is not as easy as it sounds. And some people have the issue of bringing their work home. In order for us to, once we decide to focus on something, it's not about finding focus or looking for focus. It's simply about making a decision to focus. You get to choose what you focus on. You get to choose intentionally what you focus on. So to focus on one thing is to not focus on another thing. Intentional focus means this: saying yes to the right thing and saying no to everything else. At least, especially for that block of time. If you have 5 things you need to do, I know we like to say, and me and a coworker was talking about this recently, I know we like to say, I'm a multitasker. I can multitask. No, you don't. Now, if you can juggle those two, when you have 5 things you need to do, say in an hour, if you break those down into 15-minute increments, I believe it is, 15-minute increments. Well, for 15 minutes, you're going to focus on this task. 15 minutes that, 15 minutes that. That's, in a manner of speaking, multitasking. If you're able to shift your attention intentionally and successfully, efficiently, on that particular task for that 15 minutes, then of course you could get 5 things done, depending on what it is, but you can get at least 15 minutes worth of work done with those particular tasks, which then makes you look very efficient, that you can handle many responsibilities at once, although you're actually not handling them all at once. So learn to say yes to the things that really is a part of your vision or your planning or your assignment at that time, and say no to everything else. Shut off the phone, put it on vibrate, shorten that conversation, stop playing the video game, whatever that may be. If you'll be focused on that time, especially if you do have blocks of times you can organize, that you can set, do that. All of us do that in the things that we care about to some degree. We all operate these principles. Now it's about, that's why I call this video Refocus Intentionally. Now you're supposed to consciously take control of you and what you do with your time and energy. So here's some signs that you need in order to refocus. 1, you feel busy but not fulfilled. You're doing a lot of activity without any alignment. You're doing activity that's not aligned with what your goals are, or what your plans are, or what you're supposed to be doing at that time. That's when you know you need to refocus. Stop, focus. If you're working out, work out. If you're cleaning the kitchen, clean the kitchen. If you're doing your laundry, do the laundry. Focus. Number 2, you're reacting more than creating. You're living in response mode rather in, you should be living in response mode, not reaction mode. You know, I know they call the law, you got law enforcement, you have those who are part of our first aid responders. I know they're responding to certain calls, certain scenes based on certain incidents, right? I personally call them first aid reactionaries, if you will, versus responders, because, well, I have to revisit that thought. Let me think about that again. It's been a while since I thought on that. I want to make sure I use the correct terminology when I express that. But my point is, when you deal with a situation, when you react to something, that means you are thinking, you are acting without actually thinking it through. When you respond, you are actually thinking through before you actually give feedback or give comments or share your thoughts. Being a responder means you taking control of the situation versus being controlled by that. I'm talking about controlling you within that situation versus letting your emotions take the charge. Once you become emotional, and this is for men and women, once you become emotional, rationale and logic goes right out the window. So let's work on responding to situations, circumstances, and conditions. Responding to the task or the assignments given to us rather than reacting to them, and thereby making ourselves victims of those moments. Here's the third thing, because I said there's 3 signs that you need to refocus. The third thing is your priorities begin to feel blurry. Now you're figuring out, what am I supposed to do? You know, last week my thought was, and again, it was 50-50, so I didn't make a full commitment to doing it. But it was a partial commitment that I would do and I'm still going to do it, a bonus video for y'all. Anytime I miss a week, for example, I want to do 2 videos. I'm going to start the video out for Monday, but also do what I call a bonus video for TGI Friday, or Thank God It's Friday video for y'all as a bonus to you, as a gift to you. So I might do it. I might go ahead and commit to doing it this week. Again, you will know if you set your notifications. You will know. But I probably will also announce it on my channel. I either do a written post or a video. I don't know yet, but I'm going to do that as a commitment to y'all, but also as a sign of accountability for me. Even if I'm busy, I still want to provide some value to that. If it's just one person, I'm going to show it for you. I'm showing up for me, but I also believe it's my duty, one of the gifts from God, to serve content to that at least one person who needs to hear what God has given me to say. So that's one of my goals, but I have to be focused on doing that, and that's what I'm going to do. But again, juggling several things that I'm working on, sometimes I feel my vision gets a little blurry, and so I have to bring everything back in a realignment and say, okay, there's chill out, slow down. Take out your book. I have what I call a Create My World book. If y'all want to know more about that, let me know, and I'll share that with you. But because I'm working on one of my goals is also to create a program on that. But I want to get some feedback from you guys to make sure I put something out there that you are going to actually invest your time and money into. But anyway, I feel blurry at times because everything feels urgent. Everything feels like, oh, I got to get this done. I got to get that done. I don't have enough time to do this. I don't have enough time to do that. And what happens when we do that? Oh, you get overwhelmed. You shut down. And what happens many times? Nothing gets done. So then you have to reset. So refocus. You control you. That you have to. It's all about mindset. You get to control. You know you're not out of control as much as it feels like it sometimes. All right, so blurred priorities create blurred results. So things that look, you'd be working on, again, kitchen or the laundry or writing a book or some of your relationships. You say, okay, I did spend some time doing this, but it's not finished. So then you think, oh man, now I got to do it next week, and I got to make some time for this, and then an event comes up. You get invited to do something, and you don't want to let so and so down, whatever the case may be. So let's take better control of our priorities by refocusing on those tasks appropriately. How are we going to refocus intentionally? We have to return to alignment. So we must ask ourselves some questions, and the right questions will lead to the right answers. So number one, what matters the most right now? When your job hires you to do a job, you might have some fires at home waiting to be put out that needs to be attended to. But your job does not, generally speaking, okay? Listen to the heart of this message. Don't listen with your emotions. Your job doesn't care what you got going on at home. As long as it does not affect their vision, does not affect their reputation, they don't care what you got going on at home. They hired you to focus on their interest, not yours. They agreed to pay you to take care of your interest, whatever that may be. But they want you to take that 6 hours, that 8 hours, that 10 hours, that 12 hours a day for 3 days, 5 days a week, sometimes more, to focus on their interest. So they want you to carve out, they set the time. Most of the time, it's not you setting the time. They set the hours and say, we want your time. We want you to give this much of your time, your focus, and your energy to taking care of our interests. Then after that block of time, or even before that time, you take care of yours. They don't care about your interest. And when you leave your job, you don't care about theirs. Generally speaking. Second question. What season am I in right now? Now, for those of us who believe in Jesus Christ, you need to ask God. You need to pray and ask God, well, Lord, what season am I in? Am I in the winter season? Am I in the summer season? Am I in the spring season? Am I in the fall season? Whatever of my life. What period of time, what season am I in at this time? Listen and obey and make the necessary preparations until you hear from God. Start doing the things you know to do until you receive the answer from him. But those are very important questions, because I know in this country, in America, we have generally been taught and conditioned really just to be on everybody else's time and what's the word I'm looking for? We're too free, too open, and don't have any really much of a rudder, a direction, a compass. So we just do whatever we feel like doing. And so I believe we need to really, and this is entirely up to you. So I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to present some options for you, is that sit down and really take your life much more seriously. We live in this life, literally. We have one life to live, generally speaking. And again, some of us know, some of you may not believe it, but I believe there are people who have more than one life experience, so to speak. They died and came back. Okay? So, but generally speaking, we have one life to live. So what story would you like to leave behind? What stories would you like people to tell about you after you're gone? I hope it's good, that you lived your purpose based on the Creator's design and purpose for your life. Because the older I've gotten, I'm 47 years young, and the more older I've gotten, the more I begin to see and appreciate that. And so that's what my focus is at. I do want to live as healthy and strong and prosperous as I can in my relationships, in my relationship with God, in my finances, everything. I want to make sure, though, that God is pleased with my life, because he put me here. Just like we talk about a job situation or in a business situation, that you are hired or that business was created so that you can focus that block of time for your life on that area. God put you here to focus on his interests first. It's not that God doesn't care about you, that he doesn't love you, that he doesn't love and care about your family, that he doesn't. It's not that God doesn't want you to have more than enough money. It's about fulfilling his interests first, or partnering with him, so both of y'all can get what you want. God can get what he wants, you can get what you want, put them together. Remember, God gonna do things purely and legally. That's what God wants. And so that's what I believe my life is this is a part of my life, is to give to somebody who may hear this 10 years from now, to help give you aim, to give you focus. or to help you aim and to focus or refocus. Life is choice driven. That's another principle my father teaches. Life is choice driven. You do have a say in the direction of your life. Yes, there is a predetermined plan from God for your life, but it's not forced on you. You must choose to participate with it. But that's probably another video. I don't want to sound like I'm preaching to you but it comes natural because I'm a preacher. Now, so 2 questions. What matters most right now? What season am I in? The next one is remove the noise. Not everything deserves access to your attention. You should begin to value as a commodity your, if you will, your attention. There's power in attention. This is why the media does what they do. This is why advertisers, this is why companies spend millions and sometimes probably a few $billion a year to get your attention. Because you may not buy anything today, but you might tomorrow. And if they get you just that one time, they can probably get you for life. And if they don't just get you, they get your kids or get somebody in your family. This is how they make millions and millions and hundreds of millions and billions of dollars a year. They study people and they say we need to gain their attention. And so they craft or they create, they marketing materials in order to do that. And it's not totally bad. It's always about the motive, but that's life. All of us want to get somebody's attention in one way or another, intentionally or unintentionally. It just depends on the purpose and the motive behind it. So not everything deserves access to your attention. Protect your mental space. You're not meant to be in everything. You're not meant to know everything. Protect your mental space. Next, we need to recommit to the next step. Don't try to fix everything. Choose one clear next move so that clarity returns when commitment returns. The more in alignment you get with your vision, or the vision for your life, your assignment, your task, the more alignment you get back into it and you commit to getting this particular thing done or to achieving this particular outcome, the greater the clarity again. Now you begin to come back and things begin to focus and your life begins to get clear again. The movement I'm making has to do with a camera. I know on our phones, for example, the cameras, the focus mechanisms are different. But on an old school camera, if you will, you get to actually turn the kind of like turning a dial, or you can focus or even turn things out of focus, get out of focus or get into focus. So that's what those movies are. I'm a cameraman, so I know. Now, again, I don't promote this a lot on this channel. And I like to say, I'm going to work on creating some challenges, maybe do some webinars, maybe do, I don't know yet. I have some options before me, but I have a coaching program I call the FTRIA program, or FTRIA system. And the acronym stands for follow the right instructions always. Now, again, I know ain't nobody perfectly going to follow every instruction, but if you focus on always, then most of the time you'll be successful. You don't chase everything. When I say follow these instructions, focus on doing your laundry, focus on writing that book, focus on getting your homework done, focus on your relationship, whatever. Don't try to change and do everything at once. Organize yourself, pace yourself. Don't try to get everything done in one day. If you have 10 things to do and they're going to require more than a day and a significant amount of focus for those activities, and you have a 7-day window, why not break it down and just focus it on 3 a day? That's 21 things, right? Well, that means you can, whatever you didn't finish the day before, you probably can finish the second day and then move on to the next task, or and maybe get it all done. But don't try to do everything at once. That's not beneficial. That's not helpful. That's not healthy. You align with the right direction. You align with the right direction. Once you know where you're heading, now everything begins to again come clear and get set up to align. So if your life feels scattered, If everything feels all over the place, don't panic. Panic does never makes the situation better. It helps make things worse. Panic is basically like worrying. Worry doesn't help. I know some people think if they worry about someone or some place or something, then that actually that's helpful in that situation. It's not. Panicking does not help you. Pause. Slow down. Then breathe. Take a moment. Some of you probably have heard of breathing exercises. Sometimes I'll take in 3 breaths. Breathe in and breathe out 3 times. Just that helps center me and focus me. I'm focusing on my breaths. I'm focused on relaxing in that moment, relieving any stress or tension that could be. I don't proclaim stress, but anything I may be feeling. Just relax. I'm getting into a different zone. And then once you do that, realign. It's like coming into focus again, right? Realign. Tighten up. And say, okay, what am I supposed to be doing? Why am I here? What am I working on? What am I supposed to be working on? Is this helping? Is this not? Slow down. Make a decision. Okay, this is what I'm going to focus on for the next 30 minutes. This is what I'm going to do for the next hour. I would say this just like you've shown discipline and control, self-control, to work that 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours a day, whatever that is on your job. Or in some cases, if you're on a business, you still have that block of time that you actually focus on that business. Why don't you, after hours or especially on weekends, if you're not working on weekends, on your job or your business, do that with other tasks that you are focusing on. Working on your dreams, again, working on getting your yard done or whatever. Discipline yourself. Say, for 30 minutes, I'm going to do this. Don't go 31 minutes, go 30. If you go over, give yourself grace. But the point is self-control, accountability, and self-discipline. That's what this is about. Because what? You're refocusing and you're doing all of this how? Intentionally. Because refocus intentionally, because the moment your focus returns, and as in the sporting world, if you guys watch sports, and I say you guys, I'm talking about men and women. If you watch basketball or football, any of the end of the sports, momentum shifts is a real thing. But not just in the sporting world or the sports world. It's in life. You can actually begin to build momentum just like you can lose it. So create momentum that helps you accomplish your goals systematically. And success in whatever the endeavors is, and I hope they're good, is inevitable. It's a byproduct. All you have to do is follow the right instructions always. So refocus intentionally. I appreciate your time. Join me next week, possibly this Friday morning. And remember to maximize the moment.